Every job interview has a candidate and an obstacle, and I'm going to tell you right now, the interviewer is not really in a position of power. You think they are, you think they hold all the cards, they have 5 specific bad ones. What up, fam? Dr. James W. Stalkup, aka Jimmy Joe Coltrane. I'm like the Orrin Hatch of getting you scratched. Today I'm going to tell you why the candidate actually holds all the power in the interview. Does the candidate hold all the power? Well, not the hiring power, but the candidate is in a far better position, mainly because they have a lot less to lose. There are 5 problems that the obstacle has, and every obstacle has them. When you sit down in a job interview as a candidate, you should feel empowered because you got a lot less to lose. Number 1, the obstacle owns the risk of a bad hire. So the obstacle actually owns the risk of hiring the wrong person. You want to talk about something that adds stress to your life. This obstacle is in there participating in this horribly antiquated event of actually interviewing someone to try to determine what kind of employee they'll be, which I don't believe really works. So they are in there, they're subject to their own bias, and they realize if they hire the wrong person, they could be in big trouble. Candidate doesn't have that. Number 2, the obstacle owns the reason for vacancy. If it's not a new position, something happened. Was it a management issue with the obstacle? Did they not have control of their people? Did they make a bad selection in the previous interview? We don't know, but we do know that they have ownership of that vacancy. Third, the obstacle owns the liability of that vacancy. That open position could be costing money. Every day that that company is operating, they could have a big deficit. They could be losing money. They could be getting behind in regulatory compliance because of this one position that is still open. Why is it still open? Why haven't you found somebody yet? That's what they're hearing. Candidate doesn't have any of that. Number 4, the obstacle is held accountable for the duration of the search. So these job searches can take some time. Even if there are a ton of candidates, it can take a while to do that. There is pressure on the obstacle constantly to fill that position. Now, the obstacle may know that some people aren't qualified, but as it draws on, there's additional pressure that comes in. What I'm saying is, item 4 differs from item 3 because the actual duration itself has a negative impact on the obstacle. Or as the saying goes, quantity has a quality of its own. Before I do number 5, real quick, couple things. Click like, click subscribe. It's a new channel. It really would help us if you click like and subscribe. Secondly, check out the online content. We've got the Interview Dynamics course now 100% online. You can attend all the lectures. There's 16 lectures. It takes about 4.5 hours. Then there's some practice exercises for you to do on your own, mock interviews and things like that. So the 5th card that the obstacle holds, the 5th reason that the candidate actually is in a superior position. They own their own lost productivity during this process. This means they hate doing the interview. They don't want to mess with it. They don't want to deal with it. The position should have been filled already. They have other stuff they should be doing instead of interviewing human beings, but they are interviewing human beings because there's no one in this position. They are desperate to hire someone. When we talk about developing content and properly checking the boxes, a big part of this is facilitating them hiring you. Make them feel okay with hiring you. Endear yourself to them and they will say, oh, thank goodness this process is over. I can tell you as someone who's done a lot of interviews, it is not fun doing them. It is a large, large effort and investment of time on the part of the obstacle. So there you go. These are all the things you don't have to deal with as a candidate. When you walk in and sit down with the obstacle, it turns out you kind of hold all the cards. You are the solution to the problems that they have, specifically those 5 problems. Check out the online course and hey, keep these things in mind for your next interview. Thanks for watching.